Well, my fellow Americans, no, I'm just kidding. I couldn't help it. I really wanted to do that. I thought it'd be super funny. My name is Derrick Javon Horde. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I am super dressed up with nowhere to go because I'm in Seattle and we're all on lockdown and we're not allowed to go anywhere. And so I know that this is going to be a real big adjustment period for a lot of people. And that's one of the reasons why I call myself the situational therapist, is because my type of therapy is based on helping people change the situations that they're in, not necessarily saying that there's something wrong with people or that their brain chemicals are messed up, but sometimes life can just be difficult. Thank you so much to the callback guy that's sitting on the couch. Thank you for making sure that my audio works. So I have made a small presentation to kind of help people understand what's going on, talk about the adjustment that you're going to have to make and how to do so that after this is done, you don't behave the same way now in the future. Like, that's really the problem here, is that your behaviors are going to have to change. Everyone's behavior is going to have to change. Seattle, our behavior is just going to have to change. We're going to have to do things differently. And the sooner that you accept that, the easier it is to make the adjustment. But let me get up my handy dandy slideshow as soon as I figure out how to do that. Okay. All right. Oh man, it's already on the screen, but let's go to here. We're going to click play. Oh, you don't get to see the cool, I had a really cool, transition thing in here, but they can't see it now. Well, I mean, they saw the words first, but I guess I can still do it. Yeah. I still do. Okay. So let's just do it. Adjusting to the new normal. We got this. Yeah. I hope people start using this hashtag more often. Helping people through difficult situations just happens to be my skill and my gift. I know that there are a lot of people out there with their own skills and gifts that they can use to help people through this time too, because that's one thing that we should do with all this time that we're about to spend socially isolated. We should learn so many skills. There's so much stuff that we can do with this time if we use it in the right way. I got to be careful because I will go off on tangents. Look at that cool introduction, bro. That is so dope. That's such a really nice color. I like that color. I should make shirts and stuff. Anyway, let me keep going. So Simon Sinek, he says, panic causes tunnel vision. Calm acceptance of danger allows us to more easily assess the situation and see options. And I'm not going to go too long on this quote, but I don't need to say anything. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So my name is Derrick. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and we're about to talk about adjustment disorders. So what is an adjustment disorder? Well, an adjustment disorder is technically a mental illness. Now, I promise that I won't go off too long on this tangent, but all of my clients know, hey clients, how y'all doing? All of my clients know that I can sometimes go off on stuff a little bit longer than what is necessary. But an adjustment disorder is technically a mental illness, and it is when you're having emotional or behavioral symptoms due to a specific life stress, like, coronavirus and everything being canceled. So one of the things I really like to stress when I'm talking to my clients about adjustment disorders is that whatever you feel, it does not matter whether you are overly happy, overly sad, whether you are depressed, anxious, whether you find yourself doing things that you don't normally do. However you feel is okay, because the situation is the problem, not you. We'll talk more about it in a minute, but here's some of the symptoms that I would look for if I were going to diagnose somebody with an adjustment disorder. So depressed mood. So you might feel really sad. You might feel hopeless. You used to enjoy things. It's basically the same thing as major depressive disorder, but the reason for it is because of the situation that you're in, and not because there's not something wrong with you. See, this is why I don't like the DSM and I don't like the classification system. But anyway, basically, it's just basically depression. You can feel depressed. Second one, anxiety. So nervousness, worrying. Did I wash my hands? Did I touch my face? Am I going to touch my face? What's going to happen? Are we going to have enough money? Like, those questions that you're asking yourself, they make sense in the situation that we're in. So yes, you might have some symptoms of anxiety. Again, doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It just means that this is a really difficult time that nobody could have possibly planned for. And how I react is how I react. You can also be anxious and depressed. You can have anxiety and depression. You can have all of those. So both the things I just listed, but both of them, right? Disturbance of conduct. This one's super interesting. So symptoms mainly involve behavioral problems like fighting or reckless driving. Little kids might, skip school, but there is no school to skip because school is closed. I'm telling y'all, this situation is strange. You are fine. The situation we're in is very, very strange. So, but other things, you might find yourself, I don't know, picking up a smoking habit, picking up a drinking habit, picking up a habit of, I don't know, getting rid of all your good habits that you had. There's lots of different things that you might do. But again, I can't stress enough, no matter how you feel and truly kind of what you do, it's normal because this situation is sort of insane. And again, you can have, crying spells, just all sorts of stuff, just tearfulness for no reason. They're just all different things that you can feel. All of them are normal. Have I made my point? I'm trying to make my point. You feel like I made my point? I think I made my point. It's okay. Unspecified. So this is what, okay, I'm gonna break down the whole mental health industry real quick, because you know what? This might be the literal end of days. There's some people who think that it is. So if it is, let me just go ahead and go. The mental health system is completely and totally, utterly, irrevocably broken. It's broken. It's just broken. It's so terribly broken. I don't have enough time to explain to you how broken it is, but just seeing this word and specify, because basically this just covers everything. If they don't fit into anything else. So physical problems. So if you're, now again, that's where it gets tricky, because sometimes you can have psychosomatic symptoms like, I don't know, a cough or shortness of breath, or all those symptoms of COVID-19, right? Like, this situation is so strange. But anyway, so any other symptoms, basically just existing during this time right now, technically is causing everybody problems. That's really the short answer to, I think that really kind of sums it up. Just existing is a problem, right? Keep going with my slideshow. What's happening? Why did my slideshow stop? Unspecified. Give me just a minute. Oh, so this is more the diagnostic criteria. So after we identify the symptoms that you're having, see, that's what I don't like about the DSM. It turns feelings into symptoms. Now it's not what you feel. This is a long story short. If you experience more stress than what would normally be expected, someone in chat, remind me not to go off too long about this. Oh yeah, because we're talking about normal. Nothing is normal about this situation. I can't stand the DSM. The DSM is so overly preoccupied with defining what's wrong. They don't realize that if you define what's wrong, you're defining what's right. I don't know what normal is. I have zero clue. I have no idea. I'm not even a normal person in my life. Do you know anybody that's normal? No. What would have to happen? Like, what would be the criteria to like diagnose someone as normal? We're like throwing out all these major depressive, bipolar, schizophrenia, anxiety, all this stuff, but there's nobody out here talking about what it's like to be normal, you know? No. I think I'm going off on too much of a tangent. I don't think Seattle asked too much of a tangent. My bad. Let's get back to it. So experiencing stress, more stress than what would be normally expected. And these stressors, or experiencing this stress, causes you problems at home, school, or at work, right? And it's not the result of another mental disorder. No tangent. So example situations that can lead to having an adjustment disorder. What I mean by having an adjustment disorder, lead to things that can happen that will lead you to feel overly overwhelmed or anxious or depressed, or behave in a way that you wouldn't normally behave because the situation has changed. So moving to a new city or state, and you just moved here like a couple of weeks ago, and it's been real difficult for you to kind of adjust here, right? Because the people here don't really, I mean, it's not that they're rude people, it's just that it takes a little bit to get people to open up. I think after coronavirus, though, we're not gonna have this problem. I think everybody's going to miss even those small little interactions with each other, right? But moving to a new city or a state, you might have anxiety about your new job. You might be depressed because you decided to move here and you thought it was going to be great and awesome, and it turns out it's not great and awesome. Turns out this is exactly you right now. You moved here and it was supposed to be great and awesome, and then there was like an outbreak of, oh man. No, you're good. I mean, I know it's not my fault, but that still sucks.
Yeah, I mean, things just happen.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand that, and that's once they grasp that, things will get better.
Yeah, things will get better. I'm sorry, they can't hear you. We should get you mic'd up. Anyway, I got to stop going off on a tangent. Another situation, starting a new job. Starting a new job is one that I get all the time, and people sometimes have trouble sleeping, and they think that it's insomnia, and they get on this medicine for trying to help make them go to sleep, which is just worse than the problem of having problems sleeping in the first place. They sometimes feel depressed, all sorts of things. Like, it's okay to experience stuff. Like, that's the overall thing that I'm saying. But sometimes we get in situations that we have difficulty adjusting to, and that adjustment leads to us having like behavioral problems. So another example of a situation is being told that there's an invisible virus that you can catch from breathing near someone that kills old people, young people, and people who have compromised immune systems. Also, it's been here forever, and also there is no vaccine. Also, your kids don't have school, work from home. You won't be able to see Amy Jo Johnson at Comic-Con, even though it's been like your dream forever. You can't go outside and you're out of toilet paper. Good luck. That might cause people to have, some problems. Having a baby sometimes can be really, really tough. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any kids. I don't want to say sometimes. I'm sure there are lots of parents that might watch this video and say, what are you talking about? Sometimes it's tough. It's probably really, really tough. And getting married is definitely one of those things that you just sometimes, because people get married, bro, and they lose their minds. Like, as a marriage counselor, like, everybody walk into their marriage with all these expectations for each other, never voice them, and then be upset when that person isn't who they want them to be anymore.
Yeah.
I know, man. It's tough.
We're not talking about marriage.
We're not talking about marriages. You were correct. So the very next thing on my thing is talking about my adjustment disorder. That one time I got divorced. So we are talking about marriages. I wasn't off on a tangent because
String wanted to know where you went to school.
Where did I go to school? Thank you for letting me know about. Oh, should I? You know what? I'm just gonna let you do that job. I'm gonna let you feed me the questions, and then I will stay focused on here. So what's the question?
He was wondering where you went to school.
I went to school at what's his name?
Stream.
Like just regular Stream?
Well, that's what he changed his name to.
His name is Stream.
The Stream name is Stream. The
screen name is
Stream.
People get divorced over stuff like this.
No.
I'm just telling you, over like miscommunications like this, people get divorced. Anyway, Stream. Where did I go to school? I went to school. Sorry. Sometimes you have to forgive me, but I got a tendency to go off on tangents. It's just when I get really excited about stuff, like the way that I think about things. I mean, technically it's ADHD, but I don't like diagnostic labels, so I just say it's me. My thinking is situational. I still have not answered your question. I went to the University of Louisiana at Monroe. It was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. And if I could go back and do it again, I'd probably be just a little bit less of a dick. And what I mean by that is, whenever I was in college, I kind of had a tendency to blame other people for the things that happened to me. So if I were in a situation with someone and I felt hurt, instead of me taking responsibility for how I felt or understanding that it was the interaction between them that led to me being upset instead of what they did to me, I would just blame them for it. And so throughout kind of college, like, while I did really good things. I'm not going to knock myself. I just think that if I would have had, just a little bit of emotional regulation and just a tad bit, more of an ability to tolerate other people's differences. And if I just loved myself, I think college would have went a lot better. But that's where I went to school at. So thank you for that question. So my adjustment disorder. In therapy, I often use my own kind of life stories to help my clients. Not that I'm working through stuff. Sometimes I just lie and put people's names together. But this one I kind of want to be truthful about because this is kind of the person that I am. So my adjustment disorder. I moved to Seattle about a year and a half ago. 2 years, actually, I moved to Seattle. And I moved here with my now ex-wife. So a month after we got here, she told me that she wanted a divorce. And this was on the same day that I officially opened my business as a licensed marriage and family therapist. I am still accepting new clients.
What year was it?
This was a year and a half ago, 2018. This was 2018.
So you said you've been a therapist for about 2 years?
I've been a therapist for a little bit longer than that. Yeah, I think if you count the time in training, which I do, I say 7. Now, 7 years ago from 2020 was 2013. I guess, again, it just depends on how you define experience. And I don't think we need to, kind of cherry pick the details. We say about 5 years I've been doing therapy. Technically speaking, I've been doing it my entire life because I'm just playing the role of a caretaker, but I get paid for it. Now it's like, an extension of childhood family roles. Anyway, we're not on that. So that one time I got divorced. Since I got divorced on the same day, my wife, I opened my business as a licensed marriage and family therapist. That was interesting enough. But the real adjustment was that I had just moved from Louisiana, which was like 3,500 miles away from my friends, family, support system. I didn't know anyone here. I just started a business. And the only sense of stability that I had just told me that, I don't really love you no more. Bye. Now, it wasn't like that. There's two sides to every story. And there's a reason that college didn't go so well. There was a way that I was behaving. There was a way that I behaved in my marriage. But we've gotten past that. Well, I've gotten past that. See, even that sounds like I'm attacking and defending. Again, that's another relationship thing, but I don't need to go about that. The point is, during that time, y'all, I did some things that, not bad things, but, if anybody out there has ever been divorced, or broken up from being with someone in a long-term relationship, you know what I mean when I say I had to find myself. Like, this is like a Pixar movie, and if they're little kids, they don't get that. But yes, I was out there searching for myself, and I was really looking. I was looking in all sorts of places. I was looking. Oh, good Lord. I mean, and I got to know so many cool places in Seattle. It's supposed to be about Seattle. I almost forgot I was talking to Seattle. I got to remember that. So many cool places in Seattle. I stayed in Capitol Hill for at least 6 months. How many times did I call you from Capitol Hill, bro? It had to be at least once every day. I was telling you that I was in Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is so dope. For a little while, I stopped going because I went there once and the guy said, you come here so often, we should let you in for free. I'm touching my face. Look at the corona. Anyway, he said we should let you in for free. And that's when I realized that it was probably time for me to stop, going out and partying so much. But the thing is, I felt depressed. I felt anxious. I felt like I had no goal or purpose in life. I felt like no matter what I did, nothing was going to ever change. And now I have like a thriving private practice. I have a freaking YouTube channel where I'm shooting a video. Like, things can and will get better. But the thing that made the difference is that I did not decide to give up. And I also had something to work for. I had something to look forward to. I had something that I wanted to do. I didn't let the situation, dictate how I was going to respond to it. I dictated how I responded to the situation. And then once you have that process of where you run into situations and then you respond to the situations and the situations change, it starts to become like this interactional reciprocal process. And it's just all very, very beautiful. But that's my adjustment disorder. The one time I got divorced, it was super tough. It was very hard. I know it seems like I'm glossing over it, but I'm not there anymore. Like, I have space from it. Like, there's a distance that I remember that person. That person did not dress as fly as I do now currently, but I remember that person. I remember how worried he was. I remember how afraid he was. I remember how he didn't know what was going to happen next. And I'm just not there anymore. And that's kind of one of the main difficulties with dealing with adjustment disorders. I hate that phrase, dealing with trauma, because that's what this is. It's traumatic for everybody. Dealing with trauma. One of the most difficult things about dealing with trauma is a point that I was going to make that it seems like I forgot. Do you remember the point that I was about to make?
Dealing with trauma?
Yeah, I was saying something about dealing with trauma and how difficult it is. And how, like, the way that you respond to it is fine. And, like, don't beat yourself up about that, because this entire situation is traumatic. And I don't like using the term adjustment disorders, because that implies that, there's something wrong with you. Like, no, like, there's something wrong with the situation we're in.
Yeah, that's about where you're going.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just keep on. So that was my adjustment disorder. Now, do I have any questions, anything in the chat?
No, we didn't.
Okay, cool.
I was letting them know that I was keeping my own.
Awesome. So let's move on to what everybody else's adjustment disorder is going to be. Dealing with that one time everything in life got fucking canceled because of some narcissistic RNA, DNA, and a protective code of protein called the capsid. I thought I would take you back to school. Everybody knows that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. No, your adjustment is going to be like everything, the fallout from all of this, right? So schools being canceled, childcare, working from home, the changes to your routine schedule, even maybe your eating habits, that sort of stuff has to change. Like, I guess that's probably the real point I need to make. Like, Seattle, a lot of stuff is about to change. And I don't mean like in a bad way, like not in an apocalyptic, you need to be afraid, although there's some people that are. And if you are, I'm so surprised you're not more anxious. But the point that I'm making is that not in some terrible way, but you need to accept that you're probably not going to be able to get up and do things the way that you used to do them before. You're just not right now until things blow over. And it's probably going to get a little bit worse before it gets better. You're probably going to hear about an insane spike in the number of cases once we start actually testing people. Just prepare yourself for that. It's going to get bad. But it only gets as bad as we allow it to. Like, when people start going crazy, when people start point is, it's going to be different. And the sooner that you accept that it's going to be different and you're going to have to do things differently, the easier it will be. It's just an adjustment. It's just an adjustment period. I just need you to change your behaviors for just maybe 6 to 8. I don't know how long. Let me not lie. I have no clue how long you're going to have to do this for. I don't know. Let's not give ourselves a false sense of security. But you have to make the adjustment. It doesn't matter for how long. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. There's an adjustment that has to be made. So let's talk about working from home. Adjusting to working from home. This is one that has been coming up in my private practice so much, man. Everybody is telling me I just don't have no motivation to sit down and do my work. Of course not. Like, you're surrounded by all of your stuff. Why would you want to do that, right? Like, the only time you usually have access to your stuff is after you've been working from like 9 to 5 all day. And then when you come home, you just like play with all your toys, but all your toys are around you. So working from home, this is just kind of some general advice that I have for that. Number one, do not do work in your pajamas. If you are at home and you were working from home, put on some work clothes. Look at me. I put on work. I'm about to take this off as soon as this is done because I can't go out anywhere because we're not supposed to be in large gatherings. But put on something nice, put on something different. Do not answer work emails and do work stuff in the same clothes that you, I don't know, sleep in. That just is not right. You don't want to have that association. You don't want those two things to go together. Get out of your pajamas and stuff and put on some. Now, you don't got to do like me. I just happen to because it looks nice to look this good. But just put on something else other than your pajama clothes. Put on something that if you were to do like a teleconference meeting, you wouldn't feel bad looking at it. So that's one adjustment to working from home. Another adjustment is there is nobody. Like, is there a question? Okay, so there is nobody that's going to make you do the stuff you're supposed to be doing. I just want to make that clear. When you're at work, you don't do the stuff you're supposed to be doing. It's fine. I know y'all are my clients. Y'all tell me all the time. It's okay. Like, I get it. I wouldn't do it either if they treated me like that. But the point that I'm making is no one is going to make you do your work. You have got to set routine and structure for yourself. And I hear it right now. But what if I can't? What if that all these things get in the way? And every time I try to do it, I don't want to hear that. What I want to hear is I'm going to start making my bed every single day so that I can build a habit of consistency. If you make your bed every day, then find something else to do. But the problem is you have got to build routine and structure. You need to have work hours at home. You're working at home. Like, the problem is that you think that this is like a vacation. You're looking at it like I am at home doing work, but you are working from home. You need to make that distinction. So what time do you have to be at work? That's what time you should be at work and your house. What time do you have to take a break? Then that's the time that you should take a break. What time is lunch? Then that's the time you should do lunch. In fact, I don't know how the tax code works. Don't quote me on this. I'm not a tax person. I'm a therapist. I'm not the situational tax therapist, I'm just a situational therapist. But I'm wondering, could you even work, like set off a portion of your house and then say that you're working from home? You got a home office now? Like, that's the only thing. Like, and you know what? That's the only thing those multi-level marketing schemes are good for, is so you can say you have your own business and then you just section out a portion of your house to be your home office. Maybe that's why those things exist. I don't know. Maybe it's like a loophole for people that aren't like Jeff Bezos. Ooh, that was probably too much. You think that was too much? No, I think it's all right. Yeah, I said I can't take it back. That's why being live is such a problem. Because I can't take back that I just kind of dunked on Jeff Bezos, who could single-handedly solve this problem for Seattle. But that's okay, because you know what? He worked. He earned his money. He started from the bottom, and now he's here. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have no help. He didn't have no assistance. He didn't have no invisible, knapsack. He just started. And you know what? I'm just being funny. I'm just saying, I know that people think that about folks. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. I probably shouldn't have said that. People are going to think something about me that's not true. Anyway, working from home, you need to make sure that you have a routine and a schedule. The time to go to work and the time to clock out. That's another important point. I do know, and I'll say this, what you're going to do, Amazon. Like, I do know that there are some people at Amazon who work whenever they don't need to be working. Like, if you're on call, I'm about to cough, it's the coronavirus. That's weird. How do you stop coughing when you're live? Like, that's a thing too. How you stop coughing? I didn't think about that. Anyway. Okay, so tangents. Okay, so I know that I have some people who work at Amazon who definitely work when they're not supposed to be working. They definitely work when they're not supposed to. They'd be out with happy hour with a friend and get a text message about having to, I don't know, clear up some C++ because it's dirty near the, overflow of the stack overflow RAM, and so they're doing that while they should be enjoying time with their friends. Don't take that behavior home. Like, once you're done with work, once you put in your work, you be done with work, right? Like, put in your hours, but once you're done, you're done. So set yourself some routine and schedule. Can you think of anything else people working from home might have difficulty adjusting to? Lack of motivation. You're not going to feel motivated. No one can make you do it. When you do it at work, you're motivated because at any point in time, somebody could come around and watch you and catch you on Reddit, right? But when you're at home, who's going to stop you? And I'm just telling you that you do. Hopefully those companies will give you guys some grace. But I'm just saying, I have a feeling that if people are working from home and I just do your best work is all I'm saying. Do your best work. Any other things, though, that you think that people working from home might have difficulty adjusting to? Any questions? Anybody said? Because I can't see it.
Well, String was saying that he started working from home, but his manager said basically do whatever you want, and he felt bad for not having enough to do.
He felt bad because he didn't have enough to do?
Yeah, because he's his manager.
Huh. How about I just go, you know what? That's the what for working from home. Let's go check on the chat. Let's go see what's going on. Oh, I got 4 people watching. That's so cool. Let's see. Let's look at someone. How do I switch to the chat? You know what? First I need to do is switch. Nope. That's the wrong thing. There we go. Man, I look fly. Look at that one dang earring. That's dope. And I got that nice 90s haircut going on. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Stream. Hey, my wife just got fired from her job. Dude, that sucks. Oh, no, man. My wife just got fired from her job, going through a rough time, man. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. There's like no magic therapy words for that. It's just a difficult situation to adjust to. You can be there for her. Hopefully you have some friends and family who will like that you can lean on and that you can support and that can support you and stuff. And I'm just really sorry to hear it. Again, I'm so serious. If I were a millionaire, dude, I would just give out money to people. Like I would so do it. And it sucks. It sucks that money has this much power over us, you know? Like I can't even fully be concerned about coronavirus because I'm worried about the money and financial aspect of it. It would be so great if we had a society, and I'm not advocating for a cashless society because that would be the end times, and that's how my mom used to think about things. But the point I'm making, not used to, but anyway, long story short, I'm going off on the tangent. That really sucks, Levy, and I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm good. I'm glad everybody in my comments is doing that. You said the DSM is what? The DSM is full of crap. It's the most terrible thing ever. Let's see. String. I started working from home, but my manager, I think she's going to go to, who's going to dental hygiene school? Okay. All right. Well, keep watching that for me, little brother. And I'm going to go back to what we were talking about because we were on working from home. All right. Let's pull this back up. Adjusting to working from home. Play. Seeing your partner more. Ooh, couples. To any couples in Seattle, let's have a talk. Couples therapy is my bread and butter because I like specialize in the thing that ended my relationship. And so now I got all this information for you. I can't really say it from her side. Michelle Weiner Davis can though. Just shout out. I don't know you, Michelle Weiner Davis, and I don't know if this video will ever get that famous. I hope that it does because that would be absolutely awesome. But any ladies, if you are having problems with your man, please get this book. You know, and it's so sad because I should have written a book by this point because she's saying the same stuff. I could just easily sit down and write a book. But the way that Michelle Weiner Davis breaks this down, man, the first chapter, can we talk? Like, that's so dope the way she even got that set up. And she just in here, basic training, sit, stay, you know, how to talk so men will listen. I'm telling you, get this book. If you're having problems with your man, get this book. This book right here will save that. For all the ladies, just please, right here, just get this book. Just get this book. Just get this book. I wish I would have got my ex-wife this book. Seeing your partner more often. So, couples, look, there are some couples, right? And y'all have one of these relationships where it's like in situations where it's good, but in situations where it's bad, it's pretty bad, right? And one of the blessed things about your existence is that mother goes to work for at least 8 hours, a day. You know you don't have to see the silly, stupid, beautiful, lovely, annoying ass face. But now the coronavirus is here and y'all both working from home. Y'all know how to interact with each other between 9 to 5. I got a couple in mind right now. What's up, Adam and Eve? I told you I would call you out. What's up, Adam and Eve? Y'all, for specifically, I know we haven't met yet because I was supposed to see you next week. And my schedule is all full, but that's okay because this is what I would be telling you. Y'all know for a fact, y'all need to split that house down the middle. Y'all need to have dedicated bathroom times. Y'all need to wear earphones around the house. You need to split the house down. Y'all need to have dedicated zones because one of the problems that we talked about is that you guys need more space. And, it's hard to have space when you are on a lockdown. So please keep that space. Now, that's just for Adam and Eve. For everybody else, y'all need to divide the house. Because y'all gonna all have the same problem. You're gonna see somebody. It's just the fact that you are around them more. It does, because what's gonna happen? I know, bruh. In like 6 months, I'm gonna have somebody call me and say, I just realized I never, ever loved my partner. Everything about them is terrible. And the way that they handled that coronavirus really let me know that they just weren't there for me. And it's not gonna even be none of that. It's just gonna be the fact that you're seeing this person more often, right? So you need to have some time to yourself. And early when I was talking about working from home, if 2 people are working from home, y'all are at work. Don't be kissing each other between work time. Oh, Derrick, we're a couple. No, you at work. If you were at work, would you be kissing all over each other? And kissing extends to other stuff. I'm not stupid. I'm just not talking about it right now. None of that during work hours. Maybe at lunch. Cool. I'll let it slide at lunch. That's cool because it's lunch. I can see that happening. But at work, when you were at work, be at work. Because what's cute in this situation right now, is it going to be cute 6 months from now? 6 months from now, if you have to work at home, and I just want you to think of it in that terms. Let's just say we know for a fact, let's just blanket say 6 months. 6 months sound good. We're going to have to deal with all this for about 6 months. Let's say that, right? 6 months from now, is it going to be cute for your partner to put, hey, babe, how you doing? What you working on? Working from home? It's not going to be cute 6 months later. Or the opposite. Hey, babe, you want to go do stuff? You want to go do stuff? You want to go do stuff? Yeah. No, that was probably really loud. I'm wearing a mic. I got to find another way to do physical body humor to get my points across. Anyway, husbands, no, stop all that. Stop nagging for sex on your partners. Like, by the way, husbands, the best way, if you want to have sex, more often, it's very, very simple. One thing that you can do is if you play basketball, you have a good jump shot. If you would just shoot some clothes into like the washer and then like do like a layup into the dryer, and you do that on Sunday, right? And she don't even have to ask you about it, bruh. By Wednesday, and I'm just saying, give it 3 good days, right? Of you consistently doing stuff that you should already be doing, but you don't think that you should be doing because you have a definition of marriage that is super outdated. Now, the other side is true. Don't worry. Where's my book at? I'm not talking to the ladies because I can't talk about it like that. Michelle Weiner Davis talks about it because she loves telling y'all about how you talk about how I tried everything I could. Now it don't. Nope. You can't even say that no more. Go watch my other videos. Long story short, the stuff that seems cute now with your partner is going to become frustrating 6 months from now. You need to set up something now so that you don't get frustrated, because trying to set this up while you were resentful and you've been stuck in this home and you've been looking at the same stuff over and over and over again, it's not going to work. The first thing that I suggest for all of my partners, y'all set up some mandatory separation time. You have got to do that. Don't let the fact that your partner is home and you're just seeing them more often, don't let that be a reason or an excuse for why it is you can't get along. Don't let that be, don't let that not be the reason. Don't come up with other reasons for why your partner's behavior is what it is. You don't even need to ask why. Why is such a pointless question when it comes to behavior? There's no such thing as why. Both behaviors are reciprocal. You guys are interacting with each other. Long story short, to adjust to seeing your partner more often, number 1, get some space. Number 2, talk about it, right? And me and you've had this conversation, right? Like, because you're staying with me for a little bit. And it's just different having you in my space, and you being respectful of it. You haven't disrespected me at all. It has actually been nice, sometimes to have you. But then sometimes, and I think you feel it too, because we both be feeling it at the same time. We're just kind of like mad at each other, because we're not mad at each other, but mad at the situation. We're mad at the situation. It's like we're both here. I want you to be here and I don't sometimes. And you want to be here and you don't sometimes. And like, how do we manage that? Well, we talk about it, right? We talked about it earlier. You do this and this and this. I'll do this and this and this. It's okay for us to feel that way because it's the situation we're in. It's not us. You are not doing anything to have me feel uncomfortable. I am not overtly trying to do anything to have you be uncomfortable. The situation is why we're uncomfortable. But it's very, very easy to blame the person that you were with instead of the situation. It's so, you know what? Why it's not even easy. It's probably like the only thing that you can do. It's the only thing that you see. right? Because anyway, so that's Justin, to see you and your partner more often. Let me know if anybody has any questions about that. If not, I'm gonna move on to the next thing, which is being alone. To everybody who is socially isolating and who is single, first off, it's tough. It's tough being single in Seattle, because Seattle is just, I've never been in a place that is so beautiful and that people are so smart and just so many folks to interact with, and we don't interact with each other. Or I would say y'all, because I'm from the South, but that we don't. I'm a Seattleite now too. I love it. We don't interact with. I'm just as guilty of walking down the street with my headphones in my ear talking about, I want to meet somebody organically. Who am I going to meet? You know, nobody, not with my earphones in my ear. But anyway, we can practice that sort of stuff, Seattle, while we are being alone in our home. We could think about how much we should do that next time when we don't have to be in the house for 6 months. But being alone, you're going to want to do things like read. You're going to want to make sure that you're taking walks and stuff. Find ways to connect with people. The internet is here. I'm not even joking. If you don't play video games, you might want to start. You might want to learn some co-op. Fortnite is so much fun. Go and get on there on Fortnite. It's fine. Maybe you play some MMORPG, something where you can just connect with and talk with other people. You don't like normally in Seattle, kind of being alone and socially isolating is kind of the default. It's just, I gotta stop hitting myself. It's the default. It's kind of like how we are, but the difference is every now and then we'll go out and we'll talk with someone else. So every now and then we'll go out and we'll interact with somebody different. But like this, since we're being told to kind of isolate, one, you're not going to want to because they're telling you to. Like, you're never going to, you have never, ever felt an urge to go and do stuff when your governor tells you, hey, don't go do stuff. Like, that makes you just want to do it more. So that's one. But two, I forgot the original point that I was making. It's going to be difficult being alone. Make sure that you're doing things to keep yourself stimulated. Make sure that you reach out to people. Call people on the phone. Let's not just do text messages, guys. We got 6 months of this. So call people on the phone, check on them, make sure that they're doing okay. Just call and say hi. Even if you have a friend who thinks that you're not actually friends, but you know that she probably considers you as a really good friend. She just doesn't know how to say it because she just has difficulty talking about stuff because reasons. That's fine. But still call and check on that person and make sure that we're going to go get Mexican tomorrow because that's what we do, right? But it's going to be, make sure that there's not 250 people in the room. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't go get Mexican. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that a little bit more. Long story short, socialize with folks, even if you're not like, going to events and stuff all the time. Adjusting to kids without, hello, parents, dear parents. Ooh, boy. I just want to take a moment of silence for you, because there are a lot of parents that are dealing with their kids' 9-to-5 problems and just don't even have a framework for what it's supposed to look like. Not in a bad way. They provide for their kids. They're off at work doing what they need to do. But now they have to work from home, and they have a house full, maybe just one, or maybe 2 or 3, but it doesn't matter. Everybody's at home and it's weird. Parents, you're going to get upset. Let's start there. You're going to make mistakes. You're probably going to scream. You're probably going to cuss. You're probably going to do all sorts of things that you never thought that you would do with your children. The only thing I ask you to do is do not spank them. Like, that's it. Everything else, I get it. I get it. You're going to be stressed. I can't tell you to not, scream. I can't tell you that you aren't going to get mad. I can't tell you that you aren't going to tell your kids, I can't stand you. You guys suck. I wish I would have never had you. I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to do that, because I don't know what it's going to look like in 6 months. I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know when school is going to start back. It seems like they're saying maybe in 30 days, but whatever. Just during this particular time period, it's going to be so difficult. Do not spank your children. Now, everything else, as long as you apologize to your kids and let them know that you were wrong and that you were sorry for what you did, how you did it, and that you were going to do something different next time, then it's okay to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. It's part of the learning process. So that's number one, because you have to be all right with yourself when you inevitably say or do or scream or say something that you didn't mean to say. There's no reason to beat yourself up about it. It just is just a weird situation. So that's number one. Number two, you're going to want to provide, again, and it's going to be in the next part of this, you're going to want to make sure that you provide routine and structure. Routine and structure is the most important thing when it comes to your kids being at home. If you want to recreate the school environment, then you can do so, but it's important that you put that in place now. Don't wait. People are trying to wait and say, well, maybe a little bit later we'll start doing structure, or let them have fun. No, you need to incorporate the structure now while they are still trying to adjust to the situation. You provide that framework for them so that they won't won't test it. But if you don't do this now, it is going to be extremely difficult for you to do it later, because they will have adjusted to the new normal, a normal where we get to run around and do whatever it is we want, and we don't have to do what mom or dad says because we haven't been doing it. So put that in place right now. Anything else with kids without childcare that I could probably talk about? Because there's some things I just don't even begin to know that they're going to, like, there's just going to be stuff that's just going to come up. They have no idea what to do, you know, and to see all sorts of behaviors in their kids that they've never seen before. I'm concerned that a lot of kids are going to get diagnosed with ADHD, or I didn't know that my child had ADHD because they hadn't had an opportunity to
express themselves.
Yeah, express themselves, really, because that's really what the kids are going to do now. They're just going to super express themselves a lot because things are changing and they just want to test what the boundaries are. But anyway, if anybody has any specific questions about that, you can email me or send me a message. I'll be sure to respond or comment to this, because some people might watch it after it's done. Adjusting how you support a local business by buying their merch. I meant the word merch. Don't buy their perch online. Could you buy perch online? Is that a thing?
Probably.
We probably could get perch shipped.
That's how you get whale.
Whale? No, okay. Support local businesses by buying their perch online. This is just a side one that I threw in there. I was thinking about it. Since we're probably not going to be going out so much anymore, I think that if there's a business that you love and that you care about, see if they have merchandise for you to purchase. Those local businesses, again, depending on how far this video gets, to local businesses, I would suggest definitely getting some sort of like merchandise, something easy. You can go online and create t-shirts. It's not about what you're selling. It's the fact that we care about you and we don't want you to go under. And if there's a way that I can help you, if me buying a coffee mug with your logo on it helps you, I don't know, be able to buy some canned goods or be able to do something, like whatever it might be. If you are a local business, just set up an online shop. There's somebody out there who's good at this. You need to make your We Got This Seattle video. This is mine. All of y'all need to make yours. So whoever out there can teach someone how to set up a website, how to make some online branding, and how to sell some stuff, then do that, because it's going to be tough. I'm part of a kickboxing gym, Evolve Fitness. It's super dope. I love it. And I heard that some people were canceling their memberships. And I mean, that makes sense. Some people do that. Some people aren't very serious about it. But, you know, I know that the best thing that I can do is keep my membership going. And I'm probably going to go like buy a t-shirt or something, or I might do some personal training since it's just one-on-one with me and the person, especially if they're doing really, really good with sanitation and wiping things down and stuff like that. But there's no need to like panic stop doing stuff. We're not supposed to be around a bunch of people. Absolutely, 100%. And maybe as this adjustment period gets better, we'll have things where like maybe businesses will say, you know, a capacity, or maybe you can reserve time to go to the gym or reserve time to do those sorts of things. There's lots of ways that we can adjust to this. There's so many things that we can do. We just have to talk about them. But local businesses, support them. If you can't go in, especially like restaurants and stuff, you guys might have to sell recipes, or maybe you can make videos online like of you cooking some of your signature dish. I don't know what you could do, but there's always something that people, you know, there's a lot that you can do. Yeah. So support local businesses by buying their perch online. Let's see. Getting through an adjustment period. There are 3 things that are not optional: self-care, routine and schedule, and bitching time. We'll talk about bitching time at the end because bitching time is the most fun. But these 3 things are not optional: self-care, routine and schedule, and bitching time. So self-care. What is self-care? Self-care is the shit that you do for yourself when nobody's looking. And then I put my name down there. If anybody wants to screen cap this and like put it somewhere, that's super dope and it should be attributed to me. But yeah, self-care is the stuff that you do for yourself when nobody's looking. So how you take care of yourself. That is things like, do I have enough water? Have I eaten anything today? Did you put out clothes for yourself the night before so that when you wake up in the morning, it's already done? Are you eating properly? Are you attending to your basic needs? Are you exercising? Are you just doing stuff that you would normally do for somebody else? That's really what it is. Self-care is so simple. People make it so difficult. There's thousands of books. I got a ton of them over here written about self-care. Self-care is super simple. Pretend that you were somebody else and treat yourself the way you want to be treated. Done. Self-care. Nothing else when you talk about that. I don't understand how people write thousands of pages of books about that. It seems like it's a very simple concept. I understand. Like therapy going on for years and years. This is a tangent. I need to get off of it. How to establish a routine and schedule. Talk about how you're in bed by 11 and up by 8. Okay. Yeah, I'll talk about that. So the most important thing to do when you are going through an adjustment period is to establish a routine and schedule as quickly as you possibly can, as soon as possible. So Your schedule is going to be the framework that you live your life in, and your routine is going to be how you live that life. So getting back to working from home, no, forget that. The best way to start a schedule is to establish that framework where you are alive. You are not alive. You got 24 hours in a day. That's your currency. What are you spending it on? Well, for the most part, most people sleep about 8 hours. Everybody has about 8 hours of sleep. So you already got, I'm going to do math wrong, but you only got 16 left. Then you got to go to work. If you work an 8-hour shift, bro, then that means you only really got
a third of
the third of the day. A third of the day. You have 8 more hours after that. You got to eat. You got to take care of yourself. You got to do all of that stuff. And so the best way to do this is to figure out what time you're going to go to bed and what time are you going to wake up. And for me, consistently, as much as possible. Okay, that's a lie. I'm lying. I do more often than not. That's the truth. More often than not, I go to bed by 11 o'clock and I wake up at 8 a.m. Not full stop. Now, just because I'm in bed by 11 doesn't mean that I'm asleep. And just because I'm up by 8 a.m. doesn't mean that I'm necessarily out of the bed. But the point is that I am awake. I am awake, and I have started to run down that clock on the other 16 or 15 hours that I have in the day. You start there. What time do I want to go to bed? What time do I want to go to sleep? Because that's how you become an insomniac. You can't make yourself go to sleep. Going to sleep is something that has to occur without you thinking about it, and you're trying to force yourself to do something that can only occur spontaneously. If you really, really have problems going to sleep, then tonight when you lay down in your bed, I want you to think about your big toe as long as possible. Right. So what time you're going to be in the bed, and then what time you are going to wake up. After that, if you have a job, you plug in your job hours, you plug in all of those things. And then after that, then you start plugging in things like self-care, shower, what time you're going to eat, what time you're going to have family time. It's important to have this routine now, because it is going to be more difficult to set this routine if you let these bad habits sit now. Again, we might be here for 6 months. It only takes 21 days to make a bad habit. If for 21 days you don't do your best at work, or if for 21 days you just go to sleep and wake up at any time that you want to, it's going to be extremely difficult. And I'm going to see you in 6 months. In 6 months, you're going to meet criteria for major depressive disorder. In 6 months, you're going to meet criteria for generalized anxiety disorder, because we didn't deal with the adjustment now. So do this stuff now. I cannot make you do it. If I could make you do it, I charge $1,000 an hour. I cannot do that. You just need to establish a routine and a schedule soon, very, very soon. The last thing, using bitching time to release negative feelings. Take at least 10 minutes a day to just complain. This just sucks. And you should be able to express it. And so if your partner doesn't want to hear, again, I'm going back to the partners thing. Probably, yes, that's another thing. With partners, your partner probably isn't going to want to hear you complain all the time. You're going to have to find a way. And you know who you are in the relationship, the person who comes home and there's always another crisis that we have to take care of. You already know it's fine. I'm not fussing at you. It's okay. It's just the way you see the world. Your partner does not want to hear that all the time. And you have more opportunity to do it. Please find some other way to do that. But do take about 10 minutes a day to just either journal about it, you can sing about it, you can write a song, you can make a YouTube video about it, about how your favorite things are gone. Like you wanted to see Amy Jo Johnson at Comic-Con, but now you can't anymore because they closed Comic-Con until the summer. The point is, make sure you take some time to complain about some stuff and to just really just let it all out. And when I say complain, what I really mean is just express how you feel. It's okay to feel bad, upset, angry, mad, disappointed, happy, elated, depressed. It doesn't matter. This is a strange time to be in for a little bit, and you're going to feel strange stuff. So take 10 minutes a day to just express how you feel. So now let's go look at Reddit, because that's where I came up with this idea from. I said that on Reddit, I was going to answer everybody's questions. And I was going to look and see who had issues and then give them some responses. So I was on Reddit, and what I saw was that I had, quite a few. I had quite a few responses. It was really, really dope. People gave me like 46 upvotes. I'm super excited. So I know that means that when I go there, there's going to be a ton of questions, and I'm going to be able to answer all of them, and it's going to be super, super dope. So let's check it out and see what questions we got. 47 upvotes. That's amazing. That's a ton. That means that all 47 people, probably 10. Okay, 10 comments. That's okay. This is awesome. Yes, I'm glad that you think it's awesome. Stop trying to profit from low-cost therapy in a time like this, man. Jump the gun on this statement. Give me those downvotes anyway, though. Yeah, I think he thought that I was trying to sell stuff. I really just wanted to give like a really cool presentation about adjusting to the new normal. I wasn't really selling anything, but oh well. So it seems like in typical Seattle fashion, which is great. That's why I love y'all. I love Seattle so much. 47 upvotes and not one person said anything, which is cool though. That's fine. I hope that my stream of consciousness and talking to you has helped. Y'all, it's difficult. It's going to be real difficult. It's going to be really, really difficult for a little bit. We're going to have to do some stuff. We're going to have to change the way that we look at a lot of things. And I don't know. I just want to say that don't succumb to like the panic part. Like that's the part that's really scary. Like think about it like this. Let's say we have two people. We have one person who believes that everybody is just, we need to make it super extreme. We have one person who believes that this is the literal end times. This is the end. It's either the end of the world because this is one of the seals of the apocalypse. It's the end of the world because Jesus is coming back. It's the end of the world because of whatever it might be. People on this side. Then we have people over here who think that this is nothing at all. Everybody is just overblowing this and none of this stuff matters. None of it matters. Everybody's freaking out. I'm going to go out and do what the hell I want to do. Not going to take any precautions. We got these two people. Now, let's call these people Adam and, no, let's not do that. Let's just not call them anything. Let's just say they have these 2 points of view. Okay. It's very, very similar to being in a relationship. It's very, very similar. And I want everyone to think about everyone else as being in a relationship. It's very similar to that. I have two people in a relationship and they fight and they argue. The couple I was talking about earlier, the partners I'm talking about when I was giving an example, like that's really the dynamic. I see the same couples all the time. But the point that I'm making is we have these two people. So this person might do something like, I don't know, go buy up all the toilet paper. Go buy up all the toilet paper because they feel like this is the end of the world. And then this person, seeing them respond that way, might decide to go out this week and go or hold an event with 100 of their best friends, or try to find some way to get 249 people together, since that's the lowest number, or whatever it might be. You have someone who does something as a response. But basically what we have here is, because you do X, I do Y. And because you do Y, I do X. Because you are super worried about this coronavirus, I don't care. And because you don't care, I am super worried about this coronavirus. So what ends up happening is that we're just chasing our tails. Everybody thinks that their response is the only logical response to the situation. And they cannot see that it is the interaction between husbands and wives all the time. I nag you because you withdraw. I withdraw because you nag. You don't want to have sex with me because you don't care about me, and I don't want to have sex with you because you pout too much, or you don't want to have sex with me, whatever it might be. Everybody feels like the reason I'm doing this is because you do that, and that's not what we need. That's not what we need right now. So if just one person doesn't succumb to that, and tells me to go, so my wife says, sit in your hands. Then she says, after a while, quit playing with your butt, and tells me to go ahead and touch my face. Yeah, you're right, Gabe. It's telling you not to touch your face definitely makes you want to touch it more. Absolutely. That makes that, it's like, I don't know, that's why I tell people, don't listen to anything that I say. It'll be okay. This situation solves themselves. I love that. That's why I love working with the people that I do. Like ADHD specific. What's up, ADHD clients? How y'all doing? Yeah, those problems solve themselves. This would be a great situation to practice all that stuff we've talked about. You have a gigantic reset button. You have every ADHD person let me talk to us. Y'all, we got an opportunity. You can declutter stuff. You can work on that project that you've always said that you were going to work on. You stop, then you start, then you stop, then you start, and then you stop, then you start, and then you stop one more time. Come see me, and you start, and you keep on going. All of that stuff. You can do so much during this time. People talking about working out. You can't go to the gym. That's cool. Body weight exercises. Let's go. Look, we got this, Seattle. Somebody find somebody in Seattle I know a personal trainer now who could definitely make some videos, do some live videos, and every day of the week. I mean, I don't want it to become too much like 1984. You remember in 1984, they had dedicated times to go watch stuff, and like it was, 7 minutes hate, and then you had the time where you were working out and stuff. Anyway, long story short, the point that I'm making is that there's somebody out there who can make one of these. Somebody else can do this. Is going to help somebody. It's helped 6 folks. That's dope. This is going to help somebody else who has a skill or a talent. If we really got this, Seattle, then get out there. If you can dance, if you've been wanting to learn how to dance, somebody set up your YouTube channel and start teaching people in Seattle how to dance. Salsa con todo, what you doing? You got perfect opportunity. Create some classes. You don't have to give it away for free. You can sell it. It's fine. Long story short, this is an opportunity for us to just reset and just start kind of like a soft reboot. right? Use this time valuably. Read something, learn a new skill. We have access to the internet. Like, we should always have been using it like this to stay more connected. But yeah, I really hope that this helps someone. I think it's helped me. It's been fun. Maybe I should put my social stuff down here. This is my email address, Derrick at thesituationaltherapist.com. Also, my Twitter is at Horde Javon. And then also, I am going to be streaming some video games on Mixer tomorrow. We're going to go to mixer.com/Angel. I'm about to go stream right now because this was fun. But I'm going to go stream on Mixer, and I'll leave up a link or something so that you can go to it if you'd like to. We're going to go play some video games. I want to play some Mortal Kombat. I think it's time for that. I think I've earned it. But anyway, this was fun. I really enjoyed doing it. Let me put my stuff up here. If anybody has any questions, if some stuff comes up, if some situations come up that you having difficulty adjusting to, and if you want to talk through them, that's fine. You can reach me up. If you want to, shout out to Simple Practice. I need to shout out to them. Simple Practice is amazing. Without Simple Practice, I would not be able to be okay. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Simple Practice, for existing. I'm so glad you exist because it allows me to do teletherapy sessions. Yeah, just if you have any like quick questions, you can shoot me an email. On Reddit, I have that post. You can follow that format. Send me an email in that format, and I'll help you get through situations like that. And if you want to see more stuff, just leave me some comments and we'll talk about it. But this has been really, really fun. Everybody take care. And yeah, we're going to be all right. We'll be all right. We're going to be all right. We might even meet each other like this once a week. Every Friday, I might put on something sparkly and sit down and talk to you and talk about how we're doing okay. We got this, Seattle. Somebody else, please spread that hashtag. People, yes, here, the 5 people that are here, thank you for staying. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please spread this video. Like, even if somebody just watches like a part of it, I know that there are some people who are super anxious who are going to be looking for something to just help them calm down and maybe to laugh at, right? So please share this so that maybe somebody else will do, we got this, Seattle, here's how to dance. Or we got this, Seattle, here's how to cook. Or we got this, Seattle, here's some body weight exercises. Or we got this, Seattle, I'm going to sit here and read a book to you. We got this, Seattle. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could read that book. Maybe that's probably the only way to get that other book across. Well, you know what? Michelle Lena Davis probably wouldn't like that too much if I was out here reading her book. You know, that probably wouldn't be, you know, like if I were to read chapter 3, women, I really want you to get this book because I'm sick of y'all out here divorcing people saying y'all did the best you could when you really didn't. I'm just telling you the truth. Chapter 3, getting through to the man you love embodies 2 fundamental principles: that one person can be the catalyst for change in another, and more specifically, that a woman can get through it to a man. I know she can. I mean, I just wish the ladies would go get this book. If you're having problems with your man and you don't let poems, somebody could get on here and do some slam poetry, bro. That would be dope. In fact, even the restaurants and stuff could like stay open and like have people like one at a time come in, do like virtual live, you know, virtual slam poetry. But anyway, I've been on this for 56 minutes. I am super, super hungry. This was very fun. Thank you to everybody that stopped by. And I am the situational therapist. And that was weird. I've never said it like that before. It's a lot. It's a mouthful. But it's going to be cool because that's what it's going to be. I have a comic coming out pretty soon. It's going to be dope. But anyway, bye, guys. Y'all take care. This was fun.